All right, so the first movie review I saw was Land of Bad, y'all. This is starring Hemsworth. I think Liam Hemsworth's brother. And then the dude from freaking Heroes, bro. His name's like Milo or something like that. I call him Peter Petrelli, bro, because bro, dude, Peter Petrelli, man. No, this movie was dope. It's basically about these like soldiers that have to go and they try to retrieve some data or something like that. And one of their comrades already got captured, and so now they're trying to go and retrieve the data. And so the new guy, which is Liam Hemsworth, is he's like a drone operator. So he doesn't really what's it called? He doesn't really have combat experience. Yeah. He doesn't have combat experience, so he's kind of like the new guy. They're kind of giving him a hard time, and kind of like it's like your typical action movie. You know what I'm saying? They freaking parachute out the helicopter, and then it gets real, man. So, uh, the beginning was kind of slow, not gonna lie, but it did pick up. Like it gets good, man. It gets pretty good. Like, I wish I would have saw this in what's it called RPX. If you can, go see this in RPX or like IMAX. Um, because I there's some dope shots. Like the cinematics are dope, man. So uh again, I got Regal Pass, so I'm not paying actual price to see these movies. So if I were to pay actual price, feel I would feel like I saw a good movie, man. Like, I don't know. Let's see what the people got to say. The Land of Bad.
If you want to watch an actual good movie that released this week, not that trash that released on Wednesday, then I implore you to go see Land of Bad, which came out today, and I really fucking enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, this film does not reinvent the war genre at all. If anything,
Oh yeah, I freaking forgot about what's his name. What's his name? Russell Crowe, bro. Yeah, Russell Crowe had some dope scenes. Russell Crowe dope scenes.
it's a mixture of three movies in my opinion. Behind Enemy Lines, I actually think it's most like this one, Lone Survivor, and Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, it did have Lone Survivor vibes, big time.
The film is essentially about a badass Delta Force group that is accompanied by a rookie Air Force officer played by Liam Hemsworth. And they're on a somewhat routine mission when shit goes sideways and they find themselves ambushed. That's where Russell Crowe's character comes into play. He's a drone officer, and Russell Crowe is in front of a screen 90% of the time and still manages to somehow steal the show. Since about 50% of the film is him and Liam Hemsworth talking to each other, since Liam Hemsworth is by himself, their chemistry is fantastic. This movie is pretty fucking intense. I'm not gonna lie, I am a big war film fan, but this movie gets pretty intense. And the action sequences, the explosions, it's pretty fucking awesome. My standout is Milo Ventimiglia, which you've seen in like things like
Yeah.
This Is Us, Gilmore Girls, but he is an absolute fucking badass in this movie, and I need to see him in more roles like this. This movie is now my number one movie of the year. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you actually want to watch a solid movie this week, check this one out. If you want
Hey, yo, shout outs to movie review, man. This was actually I like that perspective, man. Land of Bad, freaking gem. Had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea either. I didn't even want to watch the preview for it. Like, I was like, yo, I just want to go in and just watch this movie. Um, yeah, bro. Milo, what's his name? That dude stole the show, bro. Um, yeah, let's get into this. Yeah, no, Peter Petrelli stole the show, bro. I don't want to give them too much spoilers, but it was pretty good. Like, you kind of there's a scene. I don't know. Should we spoil? Is it spoilers? I don't know. Let's talk about it. I like the scene where because there's a scene where like Peter Petrelli and his teammate, they get hit by an RPG, so you think that they're basically dead. But basically, then the movie goes on or whatever. Liam Hemsworth gets captured, and then there's like a random guy that comes out of nowhere and starts like saving the day, and it turns out to be Milo. Like, so it was kind of like it's kind of like unrealistic, like, oh, okay, of course. But then like I'm kind of thinking like in movies, like in the movie formula, that's kind of like what is that kind of like what you want? A little bit of unrealism? You know what I'm saying? Like, um, the guy you think dies ends up not dying. It's like kind of like the movie formula. But yo, let's talk about this right here. This is what I really wanted to talk about as well. The ending to Land of Bad was freaking nice, bro. Um,
Five fucking times.
I don't want to show I don't want to show this whole thing, but the ending was dope, man. So Russell Crowe is like the operator, and he has another his partner is like this operator as well, and it's this black girl. And so during the whole movie, she keeps trying to ask him a question, but he keeps getting interrupted by all the other stuff. And so what's it called? Um, yeah, so finally at the end of the movie, once they save the day and everything, she finally asks him the question. And the question was, would you watch a tree grow? Yo, Natani got jokes, man. Hey, it's all right, bro. You watching me, man. I ain't watching you. Just remember that. But yeah, so at the end of the movie, um, she finally asked him the question. She's like, "Hey, I'm getting married. Can you walk me down the aisle?" So it was like kind of like, good feeling, wholesome ending. And then the movie actually ends with like them dancing together in the freaking, he's just kind of like showing her the moves and stuff, joking around. But it was just like a cool ending to a movie that had a lot of like killing and death. It ends with like a dance. So I feel like that was some artistic choice in there, and not just kind of like leaving it like a typical ending to a war movie. Let's see.
The first great movie of 2024 hits theaters next week, and not enough people are talking about it. It's called Land of Bad, and it's an action-packed military thriller that you're gonna want to see with a packed crowd. First off, the movie has an all-star cast, starring two of my favorite actors, Russell Crowe and Liam Hemsworth, who have been in iconic movies such as Gladiator and The Hunger Games. So this movie is about a covert special forces operation in the Philippines, which quickly turns into a 48-hour battle for survival after facing a surprise ambush deep in enemy territory. Rookie Officer Kinney finds himself outnumbered but is determined to leave no man behind. As an impending airstrike looms, Kenny's sole lifeline rests on the expertise of an Air Force drone pilot, who is played by Academy Award winner Russell Crowe. And while the story and the action sequences are unbelievable, what makes this survival movie different from the rest are the well-written characters paired with amazing performances, which is really hard to find these days. And the other reason this movie stands above the rest is because of the way it is shot. They filmed it in real locations, which will make you feel like you're in the jungle with Kinney or actually in the control room with Reaper. So if you want to escape the real world and enjoy an adrenaline-filled 1 hour and 50 minutes that will
Wow, so they shot it. That's cool. Yo, I want to talk about the villain, bro. There was like a legit villain in this movie. That's what I think they did differently than most war movies. Like most war movies, you don't get the personality of the bad guy, but in this one you did. Like it was cool how they shot it. So you had the perspective of the soldiers, right? Like they were basically looking at this bad guy about to like chop this woman's head off, like on some crazy stuff. But they were looking at him, and you kind of don't think that they're gonna ever do much more with those characters than just have them as be the bad people. But the camera, there's a shot of them on location, like filming the characters, and the bad characters actually have lines and stuff. Like the villain actually has like full on dialogue. And so you get to hear his side of the story and like what he's thinking. And bro, basically like Liam Hemsworth ends up killing him at the end. But like when he dies, he's like laughing when he dies. The villain was sick, man. Like I would definitely watch this movie again just because it felt it felt well produced. Like it felt like every shot was intentional, and I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. So Yeah, man. Land of Bad, man. Make sure y'all go check that movie out for sure, yo.